Wait, I see the word vegan. Oh, this is gonna be good.
This influencer was
Vegan influencer's dark secret got him sued for almost $2 million US. Okay, what the fuck did you do to get sued for $2 million?
just exposed for secretly running one of the most toxic forums on the internet, where he was making over $400,000 a year. And what started as running one of the most toxic forums.
Is it actually pointing at him, or is it pointing at the child? Because if it's pointing at the child, that's creepy. That would imply he's running a really not good cupcake farm
on the internet, where he was making over $400,000 a year. And what started as a simple request to please take down this thread about us turned into one of the most expensive games of hide and seek the internet has ever seen. So meet Sebastian Henry Bond, though for about 8 years, nobody really knew his name because he was hiding behind fake identities, encrypted emails, and offshore companies while operating Tattleife, a gossip forum allegedly making its victims' lives miserable. The website Tattleife launched in 2017 and was described as a commentary and critiques website focused on people who monetize their personal life as a business, aka a rant forum about online influencers. Essentially, the forum was a complete free-for-all where anonymous users could post whatever they wanted to about influencers, content creators, and small business owners. And when I say they posted whatever they wanted to, I really mean everything, ranging from appearance shaming to spreading completely false information and doxing. And the platform was getting up to 12 million monthly users, mostly from the UK, with dedicated threads targeting traditional celebrities, influencers, bloggers, and families. Users could start a thread about literally anyone as long as they had some sort of online following. And the worst part is there was nearly no moderation, as some visitors would straight up post doxing photos and stalker-like posts saying, "Hey, we're watching you," alongside of making jokes about people and relatives who have passed away. And this is the kind of scummy things that you would see get banned from most other places online.
What kind of abuse are we talking about?
So the site is well designed for moderating in voice of dissent, voice of extremism, and hate speech, defamation, abuse. And so thematically, when we looked on the site, we saw details of our business, and there was defamatory details of our business, completely untrue, but it got more menacing over time. And eventually it got into stalking. There was lots of commentary of where we were when we were in a restaurant, we're watching you, stuff like this.
God damn.
So kind of like cyber stalking, really.
But stalking in real
Physical
life.
Stalking.
So this was somebody saying, "Oh, we can see you in this restaurant. We're looking at you right now." People were driving back and forth at our house, and the details of our house were posted on the thread.
And Sebastian, while allowing all this happen, was pulling in around $400,000 per year through advertising revenue, all while operating under the fake identity of Helen McDougal. And the guy has created this entire business model around letting people anonymously ruin people's lives and people's privacy, all for, I guess, profit, while he himself lurked in the shadows. So an example of someone who's affected by this is Donna Sands. In February of 2021, she was running her clothing brand called Silky and building a solid following on Instagram, around 300,000 followers on her business page and 20,000 on her personal account. Essentially, she was a small business owner trying to make it work. Her husband, Neil, was a tech guy who barely used social media, but because Donna occasionally posted photos and videos that included him, somehow both of them became targets of this forum. One day, a friend approached Donna telling her that they were being discussed by a bunch of people on this gossip website called Tattleife. And when she looked into it, she didn't just find a single bad comment or two people talking about their lives. What she actually found was a 45-page thread dedicated entirely to trashing her and her husband, Neil.
First heard about it in February of 2021 when my friend contacted me and she said, "Donna, I heard in the office some people laughing about a thread that there is on Tattle, and I just wanted to bring it to your attention in case there's something that you can do." And so initially I was like, this sounds very childish, and there's people, if it was kids, we'd be saying, you know, stop that. And but I went on and I very quickly realised that this isn't a gossip site. As Aoife said, it's harassment, it's slander, it's defamation, and it's been affecting people from high up, as we were talking about, but also like business owners and also people who have no public facing profile at all.
But the harassment didn't just stay online, because the day they got their keys to their new home, they noticed a white car driving up and down their street continuously. And that same day, a photo of their new house suddenly appeared on Tattleife, which is just an absolute nightmare. Imagine just achieving one of your biggest life goals of finally buying a house, and then to have it immediately posted online for everyone to see when you already are in the public light. Then, obviously, you have this incident in a bar in which, while visiting Neil's hometown, a woman approached the couple for a chat. Donna says that she had a bad feeling about it from the beginning, and sure enough, less than an hour after the conversation, everything Donna had said was posted on Tattleife. fully transcribed. And when confronted, the woman, who turned out to be a lawyer, admitted that she wrote it.
This went from, you know,
Jesus.
every defamatory statement
Wait.
you could imagine about our
So a lawyer who's using this website who knows that is fucking wild.
business to our personal life, and then it just got more menacing over the months as it went on.
So talk to me about how it got more menacing, because it actually bled into your physical real lives.
We were in a restaurant one night, and a lady came over to us and said, "Oh, Don, I recognise you from your store." Don has been in kind of fashion since she was 16. She's a lovely community of people that would always come over, and we're always delighted to chat to people or whatever. And we sat down, 3 or 4 of our buddies were with her. We bought them a drink, and she went off. And about a half an hour later, we saw commentary very specific to the dialogue that we'd had in the restaurant on the site. And then it just got worse over time. People drove back and forth our house, and details of our address were given, and the license plate of my car, and so on.
It's important to know that that lady that befriended us, and this is the thing that makes you very suspicious of other people, but she was a solicitor. So this is someone that would know should know better than to do
She
that.
would know the law,
I
yeah.
think that, you know, it's
I mean,
surprising
that's
to me that people
insane.
writing on these threads, they're very intelligent people.
Neil and Donna tried everything they could to get this content removed. They even sent 5 separate emails to Tattle Life's only public email address, simply asking, hey, can we take this thread down? But they only got a singular response from Tattle Life's admin on September 24th, 2021, who, instead of replying that he was going to remove the content, he made threats against the couple to protect the anonymity of the website's users. So obviously, there's some serious mental toll with this. Donna said even on happy occasions like their engagement and wedding, everything was kind of overshadowed by this like bubble of hatred around them, explaining that even on the morning of her wedding, she was thinking about how posting photos would lead to more criticism instead of celebrating
Or whether one of the photographers or fucking staff that they hired to cater would be taking photos and uploading it to that website. Jesus fucking Christ, that is dark.
one of the best days of her life, which is definitely a massive downside of being a public figure on the internet. But these people aren't like massive enough to where you would expect this kind of behavior to be happening around them. Because
Yeah,
honestly,
no.
I mean, this is the kind of behavior you would expect around massive celebrities, not people with 30,000 followers. And I guess this is just another important reminder that it's more than okay to just take pictures, enjoy your day, and hang them on the wall in your home rather than posting them online. There's nothing wrong with that, because privacy is definitely becoming more and more valuable as we go further into this social media
Is
age.
this a segue
But
to
first,
an
I
ad?
want to talk about today's
Yeah.
sponsor, Incognito, because it was only a year ago that the
I
world
fucking
experienced
knew
its
there would be
largest
an ad
ever
here.
data breach, exposing more than 26 billion
Good segue,
records, making it
Atozy.
highly likely that yours or someone you know's information was compromised. And when that happens, your personal information ends up in the dark corner on the internet for scammers to purchase. And unfortunately, once they have it, they can exploit it in countless harmful ways.
We all know
crafting
about
convinced-
Incognito.
If you see your, I now know my app code Atozy for 60% off.
Oh,
I've
that's
seen it
not a bad
firsthand.
price.
Data brokers, they don't give up easily, but Incognito does the annoying work for you, and honestly, it's been a massive win for me. So I'm grateful Incognito actually wanted to support the channel and allow me to promote a product that I personally use and enjoy. So again, if you think Incognito can help you, you can go to incognito.com/Atozy or click the link right down below to start taking your personal data off the market. But without further ado, let's continue the video. Because Neil said this entire situation affected his work too. Back then, he did some lecturing and was paranoid that every time
Yeah, he works in the tech field. Don't tell me they found out where he works and completely fucking ruined his career.
he stood up to speak, someone could just Google his name and find all this false information about him. They both know that dozens of people had already tried to take Tattle Life before and failed. The owner was completely anonymous, hiding behind the Helen McDougall persona. And if there was one thing that they knew for sure, it was that the name was fake. But while police requests went unanswered and media investigations turned up for nothing, Neil felt like his background in tech might give them a chance that others don't have. So in May of 2023, Neil and Donna hired Gately Legal. This is a high-end law firm to start the legal process. They sent pre-action correspondence to Tattle Life's only public email address, giving Sebastian Bond a chance to respond. 6 weeks later, nobody from Tattle Life had replied. So in June of 2023, more than 2
summary
years
judgment?
after first discovering the thread about them, the couple filed a lawsuit against the person or people running Tattle Life. Their legal team pointed out that not only was the site anonymous, but it wasn't even properly registered with the UK authorities, despite making hundreds of thousands per year through advertising revenue. The court granted reporting restrictions to protect the couple's identity and to prevent the unknown defendants from potentially hiding assets. So when Sebastian failed to respond to the legal action, the judge issued an injunction ordering the content to be removed and for the
Holy
user data to
shit.
be disclosed. So that was the first real win for the couple.
Nice.
But here's the thing. Sebastian still did not show up to court. So in December of 2023, Mr.
Summary
Justice McCallum
judgment.
delivered a scathing judgment, calling the post quite appalling and saying the way the couple had been vilified by anonymous posters was completely unacceptable. Also, shout out this man who's literally named Justice, who became a judge. What a legend. And the judge, he did his own experiment to see how easy it was to find the thread about the couple. And his conclusion, yeah, it was extremely simple to access, and this was a clear case of peddling lies for profit through calculated extreme cynicism. In other words, defamation and harassment at an extremely high level. So, the judge awarded $200,000 in damages to each of them and ordered that their legal costs should be covered, allowing their search for accountability to continue. But at this point, they still had no idea who they were actually fighting. They were just fighting an anonymous website. And this is where things really get interesting, because finding Sebastian turned into this whole story of its own. Because Gately Legal hired Nardello & Co., a London and New York-based investigation firm that specializes in tracking down people who don't want to be found. These guys recently won Investigations Consultancy of the Year, and their day job is literally finding things or people that others can't. So they were put on the case, and their task was to unmask this fake Helen McDougall. Because, well, the truth is that everyone leaves a trace online, no matter how hard they try to hide it. And people who spend lots of time on the internet leave distinct patterns that can be analyzed and profiled. So the investigation took them through domain names, company filings, social media profiles, past businesses, and former websites that all laid out the foundation for Tattle Life. And that's where they found other websites that use similar technical setups and programming, revealing the patterns of how Sebastian operated. So not only that, but they also studied language patterns, writing styles,
what other
grammatical
websites
errors,
does he run?
preferred phrases, and unusual punctuation habits. So that was when they found the evidence linking Sebastian to a vegan website called Nest and Glow, supposedly ran by someone called Bastian Durward, another fake name, even though this one seems to relate to his real one. And Sebastian, of course, was not perfect by any means, so soon enough the investigators discovered he constantly used the same similar passwords across various online accounts. They also found old photos and videos that he'd posted.
I mean, considering how many websites everyone's probably signed up to, it gets fucking hard. Having, what, 30 different passwords, and you have to rotate between all of them? And then when you run out, they say, oh, you can't use that because it's too close to a different one you've used in the past, making you what? It's hard to keep track of them all. I do get... God damn it.
Years earlier, assumingly before he realized that he might want to hide everything, and use details in the backgrounds to geolocate where they were actually taken. Essentially, they went full Rainbolt from GeoGuessr on this manhunt.
Has the girl ever talked to you?
No, this is Bolivia. Nice.
This bathroom's in Toronto.
Nice.
And the tracing led them back to Brighton, where Sebastian had previously studied before Tattle Life was created. They spent months going through all this evidence multiple times, worried that the guy could be framing someone else or that they had the wrong person entirely. And while the investigators were working on this identity puzzle, the legal team was following the money trail through the court orders. So they then discovered Sebastian was the sole director of the company called Yuzu Zest Limited. And from June 2023 to March 2025, there were regular payments between Yuzu and Sebastian's personal accounts, showing what the court called a embedded and complex financial relationship. The investigation also linked Sebastian to cryptocurrency exchanges, suggesting that he might be trying to move money around in ways that might be a little bit harder to track. Then they found another company.
Yeah, if it's all in crypto, then he can lie about how much he's actually earning and not pay tax. Oh boy, he's about to get fucking reamed by the tax man.
Called Kumquat Tree Limited, incorporated in Hong Kong in February of 2024. So Sebastian was, once
Fucking
again,
tax
the
haven,
sole
goddamn
director
it.
and shareholder, and this company was receiving money generated by Tattle Life's advertising revenue. So the court then issued freezing orders to prevent Sebastian from moving or spending his assets, locking him out of his accounts worth about $2.4 million. And this also limited him to a basic spending allowance. But any remaining doubt about Sebastian's identity disappeared when Neil, Donna Sand's husband, received a legal letter from a solicitor representing the guy. And in that letter, the solicitor explicitly described Sebastian Bond as a founder of Tattle Life. And just like that, the manhunt was over. This is Sebastian Henry Bond, and he graduated in software development expertise and was definitely Helen McDougall and Bastian Durward. He set up Tattle Life, profited from it for 8 years, and this was, I guess, the mystery man that they'd been fighting. And on June 13, 2025, the court lifted the reporting restrictions and officially substituted Sebastian's real name on all the legal orders and claims. The thread about Donna and Neil was finally deleted from Tattle Life on May 11th of this year, nearly 20 months after the initial court injunction ordering for its removal. And now, the
Meanwhile, it's been up for what, 5, 6 years? That's disgusting.
couple is trying to take legal action against individual users who posted on the thread, and they're encouraging others to gather evidence of the threads that targeted them as well. So that one thread might turn into becoming the most expensive thread on any internet forum ever. The couple seems to understand that they were very fortunate to have the means to hire top legal and investigation firms to work on their case, but most people targeted by sites like this, they do not have that kind of resources, which is exactly what operators like Sebastian really count on here. However, even the most elaborate schemes to hide online leave traces. Every domain registration, payment, or old photo posted years before you thought about covering your tracks, it all adds to create this trail that skilled investigators can actually follow. And it's safe to say that Sebastian probably never expected a small business owner from Northern Ireland and her husband to be the ones who would finally bring down his entire operation. Financial records showed that Sebastian had been spending regularly at UK supermarkets, pharmacies, gas stations, and restaurants through 2023 and most of 2024. But those transactions stopped on March 24th, 2025. And as of now, the investigators believe that he might be living in Thailand, though he also has connections to Bali as well. So at this point, who knows where he really is?
He's escaped to the wind,
hundreds of thousands of dollars for nearly decades by letting people anonymously destroy other people's lives and assumed, I guess, he was just untouchable. Turns out, though, not so much. But that was the story of how one thread on the internet could cost a guy millions of dollars. So whether
fucking hell. Oh, well, that has angered me a little bit. My God, that is a disgusting thing he did. Anyway,